that will serve as a wonderful introduction to your arrangements. Be sure to stay tuned. Watch the entire video because we're going to have fun with that one. Hi there and welcome back. Always a delight to have you with me, of course. In our last session, we introduced some basic theory into the scene. Now, if this is your first exposure to music theory in the sense where we're talking 1 chord, 2 chord, 3 chord, 4 chord, please don't be intimidated by it. We are simply referring to the C major scale, which has 7 notes, 7 different notes before we repeat that C. So if we are building a chord like C major 7, the name of this chord is C, right? C major 7, which starts on the first degree of the C major scale, we will call that the 1 chord. Likewise, the D minor 7 is the 2 chord. The E minor 7 is the 3 chord. F major 7 is our 4 chord. G7 is our 5 chord, which we were actually playing here. Relating to these chords as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc., well, this is really going to open doors for you, okay? Because you're going to see patterns. You're going to be able to be a better predictor. You will predict what is coming next or what you want to come next, okay? This is all part of playing by ear. Oh yes, this isn't just about playing notes that sound good. This is about actually you developing that musical ear of yours. All right, so we were having fun with the 1 chord, the 2 chord, the 3 chord, the 4 chord, and the 5 chord, which we played here. And we also noticed that this 2 chord, the D minor 7, goes very smoothly to this 5 chord, which is the G7 chord. We have these 2 tones here, the 5 and 7 of the D minor 7 chord, which move nicely down to this 1 and 3 of the G7 chord. All right, that's smooth voice leading. Whenever we can accomplish smooth voice leading, that is certainly an asset. This 2 chord, moving to the 5 chord, moving to the 1 chord, is known as a 2-5-1 chord progression. That makes sense, right? This is the D chord starting on the 2 of the scale, the G7, which is starting on the 5 of the scale when we see it in the basic position. So that's the 5 chord moving to the 1. That chord progression, the 2-5-1 chord progression, is the most popular chord progression in all of jazz music. Okay? So what you are going to see is that certain chord progressions you're going to really have a liking for, okay? And you're going to gravitate toward them. For example, the 1 chord, this C major 7, goes very nicely to this 4 chord. And of course the 4 chord nicely moves to this C major 7 chord of the 1 chord. This is a 1 to 4 to 1 chord progression. All right, let's get back to that 2-5 because we have something special here, okay? This D minor 7 and this G7 have such a close relationship. So close, in fact, that we can actually play this D minor 7 chord while playing the G as the root. Therefore, this D minor 7 chord with this G root is no longer a 2 chord, it is now a 5 chord. Let's take a look at it. Listen to how nice that sounds together. In addition, remember now how we took these chords, this is the 7 chord, and we extended them to the 9th chord. So we have this 4-note structure and we have this 4-note structure. This D minor 7 becomes D minor 9 when we move it here. However, when we place the root G, the number 5 of the key that we're in the bass area, listen to those 2 chords. I'll play the G, the root, with my left hand, the chords with my right. Listen to this. D minor 7, D minor 9 over the G. Very nice. So either one of these positions will sound terrific when played with a G root. Well, what does this do for us? Let's give a listen. Here we are approaching the 2 chord again. Nice and slow motion. Here's the 2 chord. Now the 5 chord with that D minor 7 up here. So yes, the D minor 7 chord, the D minor 9, which looks like an F major 7, because we can look at it that way. As long as we understand with the G, it's a G chord. It has all kinds of color in there. This is the 5 of the G, the 7 of the G, the 9 of the G. Oh boy, even the 11, we haven't really talked about that, but there it is. And here is the 7 of the G, the 9, the 11, and the 13. So we're playing 9th chords, 11th chords, and 13th chords here, okay? We're not going to get into too much talk about all those extensions, the 9s, 11s, and 13s. We're here to play, okay? We can fill in those gaps as we move along. For now, we are playing the 2 chord, the D minor 7 chord, or its companion, the 9 chord position here, over the G. Here's the 2 chord. Now we mentioned that the 5 chord has the strongest force back home to the 1 chord. That is absolutely true. So if we are starting our arrangement on the 1 chord, we can introduce that, we can create an introduction using the 5 chord, because 5 wants to go to 1. Okay, so here we are. Let's take that G chord. Here's the position, and here's the other position with the 2 chord, right? Okay. Oh, nice. All right, let's just take one of those positions. The one that looks like F major 7, right? Over the G. Of course, we have the sustain pedal down because we want to grab all those chord tones, right? So the pedal's down. Listen, here we are. Now we're going to play this chord again up here. Here again, descending as arpeggios, broken chords. We have the G in the bass. We can even double that. Nice and powerful. Listen. Even if you play it so softly, it has its own strength, doesn't it? Yeah. voice. Let's do that again. We'll end it right here and then go right into a melody. All right, you get the idea? One more time. Let's just... Yeah, that works, right? Just playing the chords straight. Any way you like, it's going to work for you. I want you to have fun with this, and as you explore your potential using that particular introduction, I have a feeling you're going to come up with some ideas of your own, and I would really love for you to share those with me. Please, leave it in the comments. I want to hear it. I promise to read. I am so interested in the progress you're making. I love the communication that's going on, and I'm also looking forward to our next session.